Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we're going to go once again do a little bit of a kind of bad Xbox news story. Now, we literally just made a video earlier on, like if you guys want to go check that out, kind of having some bad news on the PlayStation in terms of subscriptions, in terms of money, in terms of revenue, in terms of everything. And now we actually have a pretty big heated up topic now on how much money the Xbox loses on every Xbox Series X and Xbox Series S console. Now, this is kind of a pretty typical marketing move when it comes to being like a loss leader, where you essentially sell someone a good product at a cheaper price, but in theory, you want to sell them other things such as, in the Xbox's case, like Game Pass, other various games like Halo, controllers, or just a lot of other various things. And, I think a really good example is usually in grocery stores where you walk on in, you go get toilet paper for $1, and then you basically go and maybe go spend an extra $50. So at the end of the day, it's kind of worth it to have that sale going on to get more people in your ecosystem. And well, that's good and all, but it's kind of surprising on how much money Xbox is actually losing in terms of every single console sale. And this also ties into with the Xbox price hike that does kind of seem like that's coming in the near future. So we got a lot of things to go talk about, a lot of things to go bring it up, so make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on as well for the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway. We have the Amazon links down below for all the sign-up links. We have the Target links too as well for all those, and let's dive into the video itself. And of course, I'm always kind of curious because I have a lot of PlayStation 5 members. Do you guys have a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox? I'm very curious to know down below, so just let me go and know. So very first and foremost, really quickly too, we also did a sponsor in the prior video for the Western Rise Evolution pants. We have a link for those down below in case you guys want to check them on out. There's also up on sale for 30% with Holiday 30 as well. Just a nice little bonus shout out for them because they were really cool to sponsor our prior video. So we have some kind of big news coming out over here in regards to Microsoft. Now we're seeing a lot more of these articles and a lot more things popping off over here where basically shows Microsoft is losing a lot of money. Now we've had like tens of millions of Xboxes sold at this point. Like we're seeing a lot. But we're also kind of seeing the somewhat fall of the Xbox Game Pass, as we've kind of been covering. I mean, say with PlayStation, it's not just us harping this gaming as a whole. But when it comes to that, it does kind of seem like gaming is kind of having a nice little chill. It peaked out. We had a lot of people playing games during the pandemic, and now we're kind of suffering the effect of people getting bored or moving on or just not gaming, and also launch hype kind of somewhat tapering down. But as you guys can see, Microsoft loses between $100 and $200 on every Xbox sold, relying on add-ons to make money. The Xbox boss, Phil Spencer, has said Microsoft loses between $100 and $200 on every Xbox Series X and S sold. As reported by CNBC, which we're going to highlight that in a second over there, and also spotted by Eurogamer, Spencer said at WSJ Live that Microsoft subsidizes the cost of its Xbox consoles with the expectation that people will spend money on its profitable and add-on products later. So a very big thing to kind of note is that we've been seeing the Xbox Series S sometimes even on sale as low as like $230, $240, depending on the store. Now that's very cheap in terms of like a next-gen console. Even like at this point cheaper than the Switch, and it also has better specs than the Switch. Although we have had a lot of controversy in regards to the fact that the Xbox Series S is maybe holding back these other consoles such as the PlayStation or Xbox Series X, but in terms of price point and everything else, it's actually very cheap, and they probably are losing money on it. But at the end of the day, even if they're losing, let's say $100 or so on every Xbox Series S, if you could somehow rope them into playing one game, like a Halo at all, and get that for like $50 and maybe a Forza for $50, then you pretty much made your money back. Or the same thing too if you have Game Pass and do that for maybe, let's say, I don't know, like 6 months to 10 months, maybe a year, depending on how long you have the console, and that's a pretty big and good selling point for the consoles themselves. You would make that money back. But at this point, it's almost kind of weird because we're also losing Xbox Game Pass subscribers. Like we're literally losing folks, and well, it's just not maybe as profitable as Xbox might go and think. Because obviously if you're losing money on every single console, and as well, we also even saw PlayStation that did go and state that they're now going to start making more money on every console due to the price increase to $550. Well, yeah, that's just a big thing to note. I mean, plus the PlayStation's making money too as well instantaneously when it comes to, say, the God of War PlayStation bundles, Horizon PlayStation bundles, or even the most recent Modern Warfare 2 recent bundles. So as you guys can see, they're losing between $100 to $200 per console is a fairly significant amount. And I would agree, because you also have to make that money back and then you turn to a profit instead of just, making profit instantly off the console like how PlayStation has been. Now, PlayStation hasn't been having issues when it comes to PS Plus and other like third-party games as we covered in our prior video, but even then still, it's like they're at least seemingly doing okay, or at least maintaining it, while Xbox seems to be on a little bit of a decline when it comes to the Xbox itself. So you guys can go and see the Xbox Series X is $500, Xbox Series S is at $300, but consumers then purchasing like additional controllers. Xbox has been selling a lot of additional controllers. headsets as well, games, but I kind of feel like not as many individual games have been being sold with the Game Pass subscription, and obviously their Xbox subscription services like Xbox Live and Game Pass is seemingly just enough for them to lose all this money on every single console. Because don't forget, the Xbox Series X is actually slightly better than the PlayStation in terms of specs, and it's also at this point slightly cheaper, at least in other markets. So Spencer has admitted that Xbox can't maintain these price points forever. We made a video a little while ago, like maybe a few days ago, stating that Phil Spencer is probably alluding towards the fact that maybe Xbox Game Pass, or as well the Xbox console, is going to be going and kind of going up. I kind of feel like they might do a double whammy, where they might go and do a one console in price increase. Why is this hard to say? Price increase. Where if you already had the PlayStation go hit at $550 in other markets, why can't Xbox? I'm sure it's like if one place does the first mover advantage, you might as well. You can get away with it. If PlayStation's getting away with it, you can get away with it, and it kind of brings the options back to 50-50, unless you want to keep losing that money to get more market share. So it kind of depends on if Microsoft wants to or not. But the big thing is I really do think Game Pass is going to go up. If you're trying to go drop like $70 billion on Activision, all the money you spent on Bethesda, you're probably going to have to make that money back. You're going to have to go and prove to the Microsoft higher-ups, which is, in theory, also still the higher-ups of Xbox, too. So they're kind of like Phil Spencer still is a boss, even though he's the head honcho of Xbox, a multi-billion-dollar company. He still has bosses over at Microsoft, which is a trillion-dollar company. But when it comes to all that news, it just goes to show that they're probably going to be increasing the price of Game Pass. Because if you're going to be putting Call of Duty on Game Pass, you got to make the money back. So number one, well, you got to go and make money. You got to go charge more people. But as well, you also probably want to make sure that deal's still good enough that people want to move over and get an Xbox Series X or S instead of buying the PlayStation 5. Now, they could, in theory, depending on Microsoft's long-term view, maybe just keep on losing money for a while to maintain market share, and then if Xbox becomes a bigger player, then maybe they can start raising up prices, which is why people are always very concerned about a monopoly, because you can be good and have a loss leader for like 3, 4, 5 years, but at some point you may be like, well, we got to turn profitable at some point, so might as well. And that's why I think a lot of folks are kind of scared. And especially if they're losing money in these consoles, they probably want to not lose money. You can't stay in business losing money. So I do think at some point we'll have to raise the prices on certain things, but going into this holiday, we thought it would be important to maintain these prices. So that's a big thing for Phil Spencer said over when it came to October, just like not too long ago, only a few days ago. And I do agree. I really do think Game Pass or the consoles are going to have a price kind of change in some way, shape, and form. I don't see how they wouldn't. Like, I just generally know that it's just if PlayStation's doing it and they're changing their systems and making more money, Xbox is going to follow suit. So as they've mentioned, though, they do have no plans as of this current second for the holiday season, as we covered before, but it's still insane to go and see on how much money they're losing. So we had another official thing kind of stating over here, where once again, the company offers the $500 consoles and $300 Xbox Series S's, but Microsoft subsidizes the cost to the tune of $100 to $200 per console. I'm going to probably assume the $100 is on the Xbox Series S and potentially up to $200 on the Xbox Series X, or maybe just a combination of the two, but depending on which area and location and locale, say like what country you're in the first place. But like I said, it does really seem like this Game Pass, they keep on trying to add tiers. That's why I'm a little bit worried that maybe Activision might do like, say, like an Activision tier for Game Pass, or maybe for $20 a month you get Call of Duty and maybe like something else like, say, Crash or all those other various games. And that would also make the whole Call of Duty acquisition a little bit less good for consumers. Now, I mean, I don't mind maybe playing $20 for like a specific month if I know I'm going to maybe spend $70 on a PlayStation instead. And I think Game Pass kind of realizes that because it is kind of like a monopoly in the subscription service. But at the end of the day, it is kind of still getting a little bit on the schemy side. And as well, I just don't like the fact that all these video games, like for $70 games, I'm very against that from PlayStation. And same with consoles. I hate the fact that we're seeing price increases. Now, as an American, I haven't felt too much of that, and it hasn't felt too dirty, I guess, for a lack of a better term for me, but it really does stink because I just want people to be able to go and afford things. And with everything else going up as much as high as it has, just for everywhere, for food or cars or gas or whatever, it does make it harder to go and justify a lot of these different things. So I guess it does go and show that the Xbox is going to keep on losing money both on Game Pass and Xbox consoles for at least a little while, but I'll be very curious to see on what happens in the near future and how they're going to go and change that system to make it even more, hopefully, efficient and better in the near future. So I would love to hear your thoughts and comments on this down below. Would you guys even still want to buy an Xbox if the price goes up? Or as well, would you be happy you bought it cheaper before it did go up? Same thing with the PlayStation as well. Do you think it's too much? let me know. As well, make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on, as well for the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway. As well, make sure you guys check out the nice little links down below for Western Rise with our brand new pants too, as I link that down below. We have the Twitter and Twitch if you guys want to go and follow, hang out and chill for the additional giveaway entries, and of course the Weevil and Target links down below.